Hi, hello, I am back. I wanted to continue working on my save file some more. And today I wanted to start building on this lot right here. Last time I built this one and now I wanted to continue the street and take care of the next lot. First of all though, did you know that there is a kit that you can get for free right now? Hi, this is Lua from 5 minutes ago. But it looks like, look, it just switched to it. The country kitchen kit is free right now? It does appear up here occasionally, but you can also scroll all the way down and it's just here under free. It's nothing too special. It's literally just 15 items, but I mean, I don't have this kit yet, so don't mind if I do. I don't know if this will be permanent, so make sure to grab this while you can. This is probably their way of trying to make it up to us. In the past, whenever they've done something that the community didn't like, they would give out kits for free. So, yay, free stuff. I don't like this, so I would not buy any of this, and I discourage you from doing that as well. Like, this set is 9 different power outlets, and it's 200, and 200 is $2.50. Like, that's so not worth it. I'm sorry. But free kit, I guess? Okay, so as you can see, I already placed this other house on this lot. This is a debug house, so this is just a fake house. And also, I wanted for this to be a starter home, so I should move in a sim. Hold up. I'm pretty sure I have it. Yeah, a lonely Jerry here. And that removed my house. Well, thank you, game. Also, where are your clothes? This is the one that I used, and I actually just discovered there is also this one, which actually looks way better in quality than the green one that I used. I might have to replace that one. Bam, okay. First things first, we should decide on a color to use. That's one of my favorite things about the neighborhood, is how all of these houses kind of have different colors. Ooh, what if we did like a yellow one? There are also some less vibrant shades of yellow that I might like better, but I think for now I want to try and use the vibrant one. And maybe the top part could be white. And then we probably want for the doors and the windows to be white as well. Also, wait, I completely forgot. If I want this to be a starter house, I should limit the budget. It says the lot value is 4,200. I always get confused by how that works exactly. I'm just going to give myself 15,000 remaining, and then we're going to see how much we'll have left. Is that girl math, or does that actually make sense? I don't know, but that's what I'm going with for now. We actually have some windows that look pretty much exactly like the ones they used on, well, not exactly, but kind of like the ones they used on the fake house. So I'm thinking I might want to use these. We should also place a roof over this to match the other house. We don't have a roof that matches that shape exactly, but I'm hoping this will be close enough. Also, the fences here don't clip, to my surprise. This down here clips a little bit, but I think that's fine. Speaking of which, I don't think there is a brick that really matches that, is there? I guess I'll just kind of use the same brick as I did over here then. Also, delete this for the money. For some reason, this other house doesn't have any columns to hold up that roof, which is a bit weird. I think I'll just add some on my side. These are just 50 and they're so cool. They do come in yellow, but I think I'd prefer them in just white. But now this house is very white compared to like the others. All of the others have wood colors. Maybe I want to add in a wood color as well. This is relatively cheap and it matches the other color over here. And then what if I use this for the roof? I don't know. I never know what to do for roofs. And then the trim could kind of have that roof or wood color as well. Strangely enough, on this side, they do have columns. I wonder if this was meant to be the back originally and I've turned it the wrong way around? Oh well, I think I'll just keep it like this for now. Or what if I don't copy exactly what they've got going on so that I have some more space with grass? Ooh, I have a cool idea. I don't know if we have the money for it, but okay, hear me out. After overthinking for way too long, this is what I came up with. It's kind of like the house next to it. Unfortunately, this does mean that we don't have as much grass as I wanted, but it's fine. Ooh, camera being weird. I also thought about maybe the same way that I did over here, kind of just making a hole in the fence, because I think this would look prettier than having a gate. I don't like the fact that it just did that. There may be certain tricks to get the fence the way that you want it to be, but I honestly don't know them. So for now, I'm going to keep it like that. And then up on here, I wanted to place some flowers. These are just the debug flowers, like the free ones. And then I guess I could use the same windows as in the front. They're quite expensive, so Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure these houses, yeah, they have like little windows that are kind of drawn on the sides. I think I want to place little windows like that on mine too, but I think I'm just going to use these simple ones. These are all 25, yes, I might as well use the bigger ones so that we can have more window. I think right now I'm just going to kind of place them randomly, but eventually we can kind of move them to fit with the rooms in here better. And the outside is obviously not done yet, but I think for now I want to focus my attention to the inside because we need to make sure that we have everything necessary in here with the money that we have, and we don't have a lot left. We kind of have 3 walls with windows and then 1 wall where we can't have any windows because that's attached to the other house. So we should place things like the bathroom and maybe the kitchen over here. What if we kind of start drawing like a room over here? This could kind of be an entrance area, and then in here I guess I could put the bathroom. And then what if over here we have some bedrooms and then this part is kind of open? This does mean that when you first come in, the bedrooms are kind of very like in your face, which I don't think is like liked in real life. But I think for this house, this makes the most sense. Particularly also because I wouldn't want for this door back here into the garden or backyard to kind of be inside somebody's bedroom and instead in a place where, you know, everybody could reach it. Not that it being in a bedroom makes it unreachable, but, you know, kind of sucks having to go through a bedroom first. The cheapest door is this one. Yeah, I think I like this white. Okay, let's use that. And then I said I wanted for the kitchen to kind of be against this wall. And I'm just going to go with the cheapest stuff for now. You know, I kind of expected for this whole house to be smaller. I kind of have a lot of space unexpectedly, which you would think is a good sign, but I think it's actually a bad sign. I can probably just make the house smaller without it looking weird. And I get more grass. Okay, wait, this is kind of like a win-win-win. And then I can just kind of extend the fence and just eventually, when we get to this, place something in that spot to cover up the fact that that's kind of weird. And then the kitchen could have like an island thingy like this. Maybe we'll put a small table over here and then kind of like a couch living room thingy, very small one over here. In fact, maybe it would be better if I steal a little bit of space from the bedroom and then we got more space for that. I should also buy everything that I need for the bathroom pretty quickly. But I'm gonna have to fill this up somehow. Maybe just with random decoration. This shelf is 400 each. Aww. Maybe this towel thing next to it instead or something. I know it might seem like I'm kind of getting ahead of myself with that, but I don't want this room to feel empty, right? Oh, I just remembered we can also check the price up here if we like do the... This is different. Also, the thumbnail is kind of weird, but I guess at least you can see something. Oh, I see. They changed it so that the packs you used is now front and center and super noticeable. Well, lovely. So that was somewhat kind of half our budget. So hopefully we're fine. I'd really love to have a TV, but do we have that kind of money? This one's 500, this one's 900, it's basically 1,000. And then 150 for this thing. All of the fireplaces are way more expensive. I think I want to try. That's really dumb, but I think I want to try. And then just use the cheap TV. There is of course also the penguin, but I hope you understand that I don't want to use the penguin. And then kind of put that on top, because isn't that so much cuter than one of those TV stands? We also should pay for a bed. Again, I'm just going to use the cheapest one. And as for a couch, the cheapest one with 3 seats would be this one. Also, here's a pro tip. I'm gonna hit F5 for quarter tile placement so that I can line these up better. This kind of all lines up weirdly. Wait, do I maybe want to use a 2-seater one instead? I don't. I think what I have to do in order to make this work is kind of move the fireplace a little bit to the left, maybe. Also, both of these armchairs cost 150, so they're 300 together. And this one is just 215, so I should just buy the two-seated couch instead. We should maybe take care of lights too. I think I'm just going to use the saucer lights, which are the cheapest ones. I guess the cheapest one truly is this one, but I think you understand why I would want to use that one in here. This does kind of create a weird shadow over here in the hallway, but I think that's fine. What do we think about just using the exact same wood on the inside? Maybe carpet could go in the bedroom, and then out here I could maybe break things up with the rug. Or, you know, the tiles kind of line up nicely. I could also place like a fake rug using the carpet. Maybe we could just kind of use a boring beige on the inside. That is kind of yellowish like the outside, but not quite as strong. And then I'm thinking in here, some tile would be good. Ooh, this is cool. That kind of looks like sunflowers. Maybe, if you squint. And then maybe these tiles with it. And then I did say I might want to buy a little table. This one matches to the couches that we use, despite the fact that it's a bit expensive. I think I want to try this one. And then I want to buy another cheap bed for this room, but maybe just a single one because, again, to save money. Right now, this entrance is looking super empty as well, so I'm thinking about just placing a dresser. That was 410, okay. And then I was thinking about putting a mirror as well, but they're probably expensive too. Actually, they seem to be fine. I should maybe place one above the sink as well. Should I try and buy a computer? I mean, that one is 800, and I would need a desk and a chair as well. Okay, what if we say that this is not a bedroom and we sell a bed and instead we turn this into an office? Maybe a bookshelf as well. This one's 240, but that's kind of small. This one is 460, and it's also not that big, but do we want to try? And then I'm trying to see if there is maybe anything like hobby related that we could put in here. The bonsai tree is only 210. And then that way maybe this room doesn't feel so empty. We also don't have anything for our porches yet, but I'm pretty sure maybe when it comes to the back, there are like these. Yeah, these are only 50. So what if we just place 2 of those out here and then that's enough? This little table thingy is only 50. All of these are pretty cheap. I think this one actually matches the vibes the best. We're at 16,000, almost 17,000. Okay. Oh, I should also grab some bins. And wait, I have the mailbox right here. Maybe I should place this one in the front. Or I think in debug there are like wall mailboxes. Is there space for it? I guess, yeah. Can you use this? I think he can. Wait, it looks like he can. Yeah. And he got bills. Look, I could place mine right across from the other house. These people just get one though. We don't have that kind of money. We should also maybe place one over here, but I've not really left any space for it. Maybe it's 50. Okay, maybe this could just go like in this corner back here. But wait, okay, let's finally see if we can figure out the colors here. Now, the outside of our house is of course yellow and white, so we might want to go with something like that. But I'm pretty sure that these couches, yeah, I don't know about that. This one also has white wood, but it's got some blue also, and maybe this is kind of yellowish. I've never used this color. That's actually kind of nice. But now I'm kind of using a lot of this like baby pastel-y blue in here, and I don't know if that was what I was originally going for. See, it's not bad, but doesn't that feel kind of sad and depressing? Because I do feel like, I'm sorry, a house that looks like this, right, and is all cheerful yellow like that. Why is it? Oh, because I went into live mode. That's like all fun and yellow. That shouldn't look like that on the inside, right? See, what if I maybe exchange the sofas for something that has a warmer color? Okay, I'm doing it. I wasn't going to use wood that dark at first, but maybe that's fun. And look, now I could maybe use this counter that I really liked just then. And then I wanted to try and see if I can maybe make a little cute pattern, maybe with the yellow in here. If you hit Control F, you can kind of, you know, instead of tiles, use these triangular shapes. Okay, after trying out a million designs, I finally ended up with something like this, and I think this is pretty cool. Let's maybe save immediately. This is technically more expensive because I'm using two, but I think I might like this better. You can unfortunately see a little gap, but I think that's fine. I also can't help but feel like we might want to invest in a little table. But they're probably, this is 60, wait. I do love this bigger one, but this is 250. Oh, but this would look so cool in here. I think I want to invest in that, I'm sorry. And then let's think about the colors over here too. I guess I could just match them to the rest of the house. And I guess I'm gonna just keep all of this in here pretty white. See, I feel like this color scheme is good. It's really fun. It's got a lot of yellow, but at the same time, I don't think it is like too much. I do love coming up with interiors that are kind of a bit crazy color scheme wise, but I do also like to keep it simple. I do love this wall gallery, but it's kind of a bit small, isn't it? Or, I actually really like it in here, but it is kind of expensive. It's $275. Do we want to invest? I think we do. And I think the rainbow one probably matches the best. See, like the NB one is pretty cool as well and has yellow, but it also has the purple. And then same thing here with the pink. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just keep it rainbow. How much for a smoke detector, by the way? 75? Okay. And I'm thinking we should put some shelves on here as well, but aren't they kind of expensive? They're 135. I know this wall is pretty empty as well, but I'm actually not too worried about placing anything on there because if you actually play on here, most of the time this wall will be cut away, and so any decorations we put on here you wouldn't actually see, so I'm less worried about that. But you see, this wall, for example, wouldn't get cut away, so I'm more worried about placing stuff on here. Placing shelves like that on top of or over the stove would probably be a bad idea in real life, but luckily this is The Sims. See, I kind of like them, but I also don't like them because I feel like they demand so much attention. I think I might want to use the other shelves rather than these two, like the ones that are more subtle. We don't have much money left. I'm thinking we definitely want to place some plants around. I do love this newer one, and it's just 45, and if we size it up, it takes away a lot of space. And it comes in many different colors as well, including yellow and orange. And then we could use the super cheap plant maybe just on the table. I'm still getting carried by like a lot of the stuff that they added later on. I don't know how we survived in 2014. What if I place it over here on this side and then I kind of have this corner that's sort of empty. I know this is a pretty big feng shui sin, but what if I place a mirror in this corner? Could make that yellow as well. Yeah, I think normally you're not supposed to have it where you can see yourself in the mirror while you're asleep. But I just want to give you something else to do in here, and I don't have any space for anything else. Ooh, what if we place the cocoa tray thingy on here together with maybe some candles? Do we have some in the base game? Ooh, we don't, but we do have this in the free holiday pack. Isn't that really cute? And it's also yellow, although does that come in other swatches too? Now, can your Sim still use a, oh yeah, that works. And can you also grab one? Ooh, the game shouldn't even let me do this then, if that's not even possible. Oh wait, look, it does come with like a little arrow. Wait, does this need to be sort of facing outward then? Or, what about on here? Can you grab a drink from here? Ooh. Yeah, he can. Okay, I think I want to do it like that then. And in fact, maybe I have like 1,000 extra because we're only at 18,666. And you know, I've been staring at these shelves for a while now, and I don't hate it. I think I would like it better maybe if they were in a more matchy wood color. And I don't think there are very many things that want to slot on there, but can we maybe find some like this? Yeah, this works. Maybe the salt and pepper shakers, those are just 35, but They're pretty small, but maybe that's fine. Oh, and they do come in yellow and green. And then maybe just the super basic cheap plant. But see, I think that's enough, just those two things. And then maybe orange on that, and see, that matches with the couches. Maybe placing these here wasn't even that worth it because you can't see them when the walls are cut away. But I know that they're there, so... We could probably also place a microwave. Those are pretty useful. Maybe just on the corner here. Oops. No, can you... Hello? It says that we're only at almost 19,000, so I think I want to give myself maybe a couple extra bucks. Maybe just 500 for now. See, I realize now I've never properly placed the windows into a spot that I wanted them to be. What if they just kind of could be like that in this room? And then I guess this position is already fine, and then it could just kind of go in the middle here. This of course means it'll look a bit weird from the outside. I think that's okay. This is kind of our ugly side. One ugly side is okay to have. Oh, I also completely forgot that this was a thing, and it's only, but it's 85. Oh, I also just remembered we have these pillows. I don't want to use these because they're from an event, so not everybody has them, but I'm pretty sure there are other pillows somewhere that everybody got. Sadly though, I mean, this shade is kind of cool, but is that kind of boring? I don't think there is a swatch that really speaks to me. Also, I've kind of left the bathroom really alone up until this point. I'm also thinking, how much are these? 55! Do we want to place one of those? Like, isn't that so cute? I love using them. And they come in yellow. Maybe I want to use the orange swatch on this instead then, so that we can have yellow and orange towards the entrance. Anyway, the bathroom. Oh, you know, I could afford an extra bathtub. I think having one of those is worth it, especially because you need them if you have toddlers or pets. It does still say 19,000 in here as well. I guess it says 17,000 in here. What? Like I said, I never really get the lot value stuff. What if we kind of organize this to... is that cool? Where they're like next to each other. What if I sell this and see if instead... I don't know if we're gonna be able to afford anything. Yeah. I was hoping maybe to be able to place... Oh, right. That was for 85. Okay, get that back. I think I might just leave this corner empty, where, again, if you were to actually play with your walls up, this would be a bit awkward, but since I think most people play with their walls down, it probably isn't that noticeable that this is pretty empty over here. What if I place that instead of this? I still can't afford it. I think I want to give myself just a teeny tiny bit more money so that I can afford something to go over here and something to maybe go on this. And it does come in yellow. And then, with my last 10 remaining, I shall buy these people a frog. Because why not? Now what color do we want? Ooh, this one's kind of red and yellow. And with that, I think we're done for the furnishing. Now, where are we at? See? Almost 19,500, so that you'll have 500 left if you move here. I've spent forever working on this some more and placing a bunch of debug things, and I think with that we are all done and it's time for a tour. So this is now what it looks like from the front. As you can tell, I placed a tree here to match the other trees on this other lot and the ones that are across the street. And then I also found a bunch of cute little flower planters that I placed in front of my house, and the neighbors got some as well. Then, when you first come in, we have a little entrance area here with our pet frog. Got a mirror, some place to hang up your coats. Right next to this, over here, we have the first little door that takes you to the very empty bedroom. This room probably suffered the most from this being kind of like a budget challenge. But so we just have a bed, a nightstand, and then of course the feng shui disaster over here. Right across from that we have my little bathroom, which is also pretty bare bones, but I think I got it to not look that empty after all. Also, I can turn off the grid maybe, that way you can see everything better. Right across from that we have the office. But then if you're maybe playing with a bigger household than just 1 or 2 Sims, you could totally turn this into an extra bedroom as well. But so if you walk all the way to the end of the hallway, we end up in our little, I guess, kitchen living room area combo thing. This area definitely turned out the best, I think. I mean, I spent the most money on here to buy decorations and stuff. Here is, by the way, what this room looks like with the tab mode, and I think it's so cozy. Like, I could picture myself living in something like this. And I think that's a good sign, but also, I did not paint the ceiling. I figured we did not have that kind of money, and I think the white ceiling is fine. But so I really like the shape for the kitchen with like the island counter over here and the stools. Right across from that, we have the little table and also this gallery wall. I think this item is kind of carrying the space over here. And then over here, we have the little living room area with these orange, peachy colored couches. And I'm a big fan of this custom rug that we made. By the way, I totally haven't tested if your Sims can watch TV on here, but I bet they can, right? Yeah, that's no problem at all. And then back here, we have, of course, this little door to the outside. And this ended up looking like this. Where, again, I basically just got a bunch of chili plants from Debug and I just kind of spammed them everywhere. I also put a bunch of trees in the neighbor's backyard. It kind of covers a lot of it, but I figured since this is not a space that you want to play in anyway, who cares? So as for our side of the lot, again, I placed these two little chairs over here. And then I got the same planter boxes for the windows that I have in the front as well. In order to cover up the weird little gap, I did grab this flower planter. And then we just have this cute little path with some purple and white flowers over here and over here. And that's pretty much a super small garden. But to be fair, if you live here, you probably kind of technically have all of this as your garden as well. And this really pretty view out onto the lake or sea or whatever this is. So really, you can't complain. But yeah, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!